All right, hello everyone, and welcome to chapter 3. We will talk about sketching and gesture. This is quite fun because now we're getting into more of like a dynamic part of our studies. I love dynamism. I love bringing life into the creature because gesture is what often brings life into things. In this specific video, we'll talk about sketching and gesture and the introduction to it. Right? So, what is it? Sketching and gesture. It captures the life of the form. So, before diving into complex anatomy, right? We're not going to do that just yet. Remember, when it comes to like musculature and small detailed parts, that's not what's so important right now. We want to actually become familiar with the animal and their movements, right? So, complex anatomy and surface details. It's more essential to learn how to capture movement and attitude with minimal lines. Gesture is the backbone of good creature design. It conveys rhythm, weight, tension, and flow even in rough thumbnails. Right? We want to start loose and stay confident. Now, staying confident is, I can't just expect that from you guys. Confidence is built over time. So when we are drawing and sketching, you will feel a bit uncomfortable, especially if you're not familiar with the animal that you're studying. But that's why we did the things in the previous chapters, becoming familiar with the overall forms, a little bit with the underlying structure and the joints. And that will build a little bit more confidence over time. So when you get into the more rougher sketching, it's going to get a little bit easier, right? So gesture drawing is about energy, not accuracy here. So we're not trying to be too accurate here. That's the neat part. Your sketches should be fast, though fast is a tricky word here. When I mean fast, I don't mean rushing. It means making good decisions. Because when you make good decisions, you kind of automatically become fast, okay? So you're fast because you make good decisions over time rather than rushing through the drawing. It's something I've talked about before, but I'm going to have to remind it because without that context in mind, people will misinterpret that. It's expressive and free from the pressure of getting it right. Avoid detailing. Focus instead on the level, on the feel of the pose, how the creature moves, balances, and occupies the space that they're in, right? And we can break it down into 3 to 4 core masses. So we can simplify the creature into, or in this case, animal, head, ribcage, pelvis, limbs. Okay, similar to like how we dealt with the simplification of the skeleton, right? So you have the head, you have like the rib cage, you have like the pelvis, and you don't necessarily have to like, I have to draw the details of the pelvis. No, just like the butt essentially, and then you have like the limbs, right? And so when we can simplify it into just something like this here, this is like the rough gestural, very simplified version of like a horse right here, and it should feel alive. It should feel like it has motion to it. And that's kind of like basically this part right here is what supports all of this right here. Okay, so if you kind of understand how to get this right, drawing and sketching on top of it and having all the lines follow the movement throughout is going to become so much easier. Okay, think about the body as a whole instead of as just parts. That means that when you're drawing the body, you're instead of just like being tunnel visioned like this, you're expanding your vision to look at the whole like this. When this is basically your eye, you're looking at the whole rather than one specific limb at a time. That's why it's important to kind of work a little bit small and not like zoom very far in when you're doing these like form of quick sketches and gesture studies, right? So these interactions bring your creatures to life even before you draw a single muscle. Okay, I'm talking about these things here. You're seeing some muscles in here, that's true, but we will get to that later. And again, you can see muscles quite clearly on horses, but maybe on other animals not so much. Maybe you see feathers instead, or patterns, or scales. and other things. Every animal is a little bit different, so we should also take the context into consideration too. With that being said, we'll move on to the next video.